call that radio? You call that radio TV? No. You call that radio TV?
This is You Call That Radio.
This is You Call That Radio. We've got an absolute belter of a show lined up tonight. Back by popular demand, Darren Connell in the house tonight. Or that. What one's more clickbait? That or that? See, I've got this new application. I don't know what it is. It's a thing. And this is why you're going to notice a lot of strange new adverts on here, because I'm just playing about with it. I don't know, some are better than others. It's a bit of hit and miss. But this is how you get people to click YouTube now, is by doing that. So that's what we're doing. Okay. I'm just going to bring Dan on after this. It's just a wee... what's coming up this week on You Call That Radio? This is what's coming up.
You call that radio?
You call that radio, radio. More like a TV show. On almost every night. It's gonna be streaming live. You call that radio. More like a TV show. On almost every night. It's gonna be streaming live. You call that radio.
Do you want weirdo or do you want it?
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
You are tuned into You Call That Radio TV. Darren Connell, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, brother. Thank you very much for having me back on.
Thank you for coming back on. You know what, I think this is you were on, we did the audio podcast back in January. We did another one, and I think when we right about the start of lockdown. In fact, it was the episode we did, Limmy raided the channel and freaked us out a wee bit. It went up from 100 viewers to, 1,500 viewers, and I was like, what is this? And then obviously we turned up on the birthday show as well, man, so I appreciate it. But there's just loads of happening, man, so it's a good time to... I'm going to be quick and concise because we're both really busy this week.
Yes.
We've got this coming up. Where is it? Oh, it's all about this for me. This is on Saturday. We're doing a live stream Halloween thing, and so most of this week I've got guests coming on from that. We just announced Mog and the Ducks are going to be playing that as well, so I'm excited for that. You're busy. You're on the news. You're in the actual newspapers. Can't pick up a newspaper without seeing your lovely face. Why are you in the news, Darren? What's going on?
A couple of things happened, right? See, this is how you need to be careful. You don't know who's looking at your Twitter. I did two things. I was moaning about Cineworld going bust because I felt sorry for the staff losing their jobs. So then I was on BBC Radio Scotland the next day in The Record, I think. They were just asking me about the cinema. And then about a week or two later, I made, inspired by Limmy, really, to try and make my own content. But the difference between me and Limmy was getting work. I wasn't getting work, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to try and make my own thing. And the newspapers picked it up and ran it as a story. They never even asked me. They just picked the two tweets and just ran with the story. So I've made the decision to try my hardest to go it alone. Yeah. Probably an easy decision though, because I'm not getting any work anyway. So
yeah, so it's you've been quite busy, man. I mean, I've seen you've had we'll play a couple of videos in a wee minute. The Springburn showers. There's been Crawford. Is it Crawford?
Ramsey Crawford.
Ramsey Crawford.
Yes. Two people that I know separately. The two of them are cunts, and I've just combined them together.
Sorry, I'm just turning myself up because someone's saying that I'm a bit quiet. Is that better, guys, that are tuned in? I thought it was a bit quiet. Yeah, so the idea is that you're just going to put all your time and effort into making independent comedy videos yourself, putting it out direct to your fans, and then it's up to the fans to chip in.
If they want, I think I'm just so tired of sitting around waiting for somebody to give me a job. And after maybe 10 years, I've realised nobody's going to give me a job. There's thousands of actors and comedians like this. It's not just me. It's no Cry Me a River. So what am I going to do? Am I going to sit and get depressed and moan about it and become bitter? Which I certainly don't want to be. So I'll just try and make my own stuff and get my own stuff out there. Limmy inspired me. He said, I think he was struggling to get a few things made. And I just thought to myself, see if Limmy's struggling, then we're all fucked. So I'll just try and make mine stuff.
Yeah, it's a right way to do it, mate. You've got all the skills there, you've got a fan base, so why not just get in about it?
Aye. My ma and my mates.
You can hear Darren, but not you. Sorry, I'm still having a wee bit of sound issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of your videos just now, Darren.
Cool, mate.
And then we're going to do it. So we'll go for the Springburn saunas. Can you just introduce us to the Springburn saunas?
So I don't know if anybody goes to the sauna in the steam room, but you meet some crazy characters in there for all different walks of life. And I come from Springburn, so I used to go to the Springburn sauna all the time. I've mixed it in with real life and all these crackpots recently with all the conspiracies, and I've just made it into a sketch. Normally I improv a lot and all, so I'm essentially just talking shite, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. That's the main thing, innit?
As long as you're alright, that's the main thing. Okay, and just 2 seconds, man.
The pavement is my stage. Bleach.
Oh, hold on, man. 2 seconds, man. 2 seconds.
Take your time, baby. Am I live by myself? Is everybody looking at me? Everybody looking at me like, who is that? Who is that cunt? Is that cunt that was in that thing on that thing? In the thing? Aye, it might have been. It might have been that cunt that was in that thing on that thing. Aye.
Sorry, man. Sorry about that. I ran away. Do you know, this is what happens. I was recording music today, and I've just moved everything about, and everything was just a bit shite there. Sorry, man. Springburn saunas. I have never been to a sauna in Springburn. Are the saunas banned in Springburn? Is that one of the...
They should be banned. Regardless of COVID, there should be no fucking saunas and steam rooms in Springburn whatsoever. Springburn's a type of sauna that you would go in and people would be wearing socks. Like, I went in one time, right, and some cunt was drinking a Bovril. I swear to God. Sitting in the middle of a sauna, sipping on a Bovril. And he's like, mate, do us a favour. See, when I go into the jacuzzi, going to just watch it for my bird, right? If anybody gives my bird any grief, come in and tell me, right? I'm like 16 at the time, I ain't bother, mate.
Spring barn showers and saunas.
One of the
the best things for you. Scandinavia, Sweden, Denmark, all these cunts are living to their 250, dying when we're 37. Depression, that's another thing. There's a lot of shit. Antidepressants. Just go in for a sauna and a steam room 7 days a week in a cold shower. You don't need antidepressants. Politicians and all. Same as me. I get up in the morning, I do a shit, tell you what, drop me and a politician off in a forest, right? In a helicopter, black helicopter, let us land with a parachute. I've got a bat, right? They've got a hammer. See who survives.
Spring burn, showers and sauna.
How the fuck do we not know about this? How come we don't get taught this in school? So I didn't know. Did you know?
Spring burn, showers and saunas.
Sauna steaming 7 days a week. Cold shower, wake up every day. Have a fresh oil. Don't eat for 46 years.
It's not done me any harm. Can't feel my toes. My back's numb. Apart from that, I'm fighting.
Spring burn, showers and saunas.
Brothers and sisters. Is that you, Daniel? Are you before me?
Call that radio.
You call that radio?
Hello, yes, this is Dog.
Right now, I'll leave that one for later. Let's just stick to the showers just now. I think I've fixed it. You should hear me a little bit better now, guys. Let me know if that's working okay now. I've actually taken some notes down because I know that this is going to be a quick episode. We're both really busy, so I've just taken some notes. So, fasting. Right, I want to ask you quickly about fasting. This to me sounds like a terrible idea, but I've also heard people saying that there is tremendous health benefits in doing it. Explain what's happening with fasting.
As you can see, that video is kind of often hot. It's taking the piss out of people, but I've put some of my life experience in there. At the start of lockdown, I fasted for 100 days in a row, and I think I lost something like 3 or 4 stone. I'm not too sure. You can get different types of fasting. The most popular one that I'm aware of is intermittent fasting, and that's when you go 16 hours without food. So
the intermittent fasting, do you know, I did that. I think I did that one. So, because all you do is you just sleep for a long time. If you just sleep through most of it, then you're all right. So, what am I right in saying that one is like? And also, if you just push your breakfast on to after, so I used to cycle to work, so I would cycle in the morning, and then that would, so by the time I'd have my breakfast, my first break, so it'd be 3 hours in the morning with no eating, and then do the same again at night time. Is that roughly what you're talking about?
Aye, that's it. Just have your dinner have your breakfast at 12 and stop eating at 8. It's so easy. Just have 3 meals a day.
It's a quick way to lose a quick stone.
Yes, it's pretty rapid. It gets your eating under control. I mean, I've absolutely fucked it recently. I'm back to eating fucking chips and pizzas and stuff, but it helps you. See, when you put on a wee bit of weight, it's good to get in about it. See if you can go 4 days at tea in the park and not eat anything. You can do fucking intermittent fasting. Come on.
But now, yeah, but what about this? So, but what you're doing isn't intermittent fasting. You're doing actual hardcore fasting, which we should point out that needs to be done in a safe way. How do you do it in a safe way, and what benefits do you get from doing the hardcore stuff?
Right, so the longest I've done is only 46 hours, so that's not that much. I tried to do 72 hours once and I absolutely fucked it, but you know how I like to go away to mad places and do things for material? I was actually talking to this guy in New York who owns a fasting clinic, and he said he said he would put me under a 40-day juice fast, but because of COVID, I can't go there right now. But I'm up for going there, mate, and just going on a mad juice fast. I do it for material and all. Do you know what I mean?
So it's partly to benefit health benefits, but also partly to benefit your soul and your show, which veganism. No, booze first, because it's sober October, and I remember saying in January you kind of inspired me to just, look at things a wee bit better, and so I'm on sober October. So this is
Well done.
3 weeks, just over 3 weeks now. Of no booze, and more importantly as well for me is just like no smoking, because it's been getting beyond a joke, man. We tried to quit for ages, so no booze, no smoking, and I think that where I'm at just because there's no live music, there's no socialising, there's no house parties. It's very hard to justify just having a few beers now in the house, even talking in the show. It's just a bit like hangovers are getting worse as well. So it seems like a good way to do it, and I think maybe I might have one on Saturday night after the Halloween show, but maybe once a month is a good way of doing it. It's what I'm thinking now.
Like anything in life, mate, it can be enjoyed and abused. So doing sober October is just a nice wee detox, and you can chill out. And like you says, mate, you can go back to it any time you want. I don't really think about booze anymore. It's been so long, it doesn't even enter my mind. But
well, I was just thinking it's been a while since I've went an actual full month without any drink. So I was like, that's quite bad. I don't know how common it is in Scotland. You tend to either drink or you don't drink. Seems to be like in general. But I just thought, right, if I'm going to go a month without drinking, I'm not going to do it in November. I'm not going to do it in January. I'm going to do it in a month that rhymes with October, with sober October. I need the rhyme. I'm not doing this for charity either. I'm not doing this for charity. I just wanted to do it on a month that rhymes with sober. Do you think that helps?
I think you've got mild OCD there, mate. But if I was you, I would just get out my fucking bin. Like, see the 30 days that you went without, just make up for it in one night.
No. The thing about Sober October is, as well as they guys, now, as you know, this has been going on for years. I don't know, at least 5 years that I can remember. It's quite a big thing, raising money for charity and stuff. Now, this year I noticed there was a sponsored ad for Sober October turned up on my Facebook feed, and the comments were just filled with hate for the idea. I mean, haven't the pubs been through enough in these COVID times? Haven't the pubs been through enough? People absolutely raging, man. What have you got to say to them?
Well, it's when you see when you said people that drink or they don't drink. See, when I first chucked it, my mates were questioning my mental health and stuff. One of my mates was like, "What's fucking wrong with you, man? You're always up to shit like this. Always trying to be healthy and fucking eat salads and all that. You're not right to hit your cunt." I'm like, "Mate, I think I might be an alcoholic." He's like, "I'll get yourself to fucking just have a pint."
Get yourself to fuck. Great advice. But do you know what? I was talking about this the other day though. Like, there is a lot of people who say that. I can imagine the people that I grew up with trying to tell them that, especially kind of the younger you are, the more ridiculous it'd be. But I can't honestly say that I could use that as an excuse. If I was at a pub and drinking a soft drink and somebody said to me, "Are you no drinking?" Like, I don't think I'd feel bad about it. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or just the fact that I'm older, that I'd just be like, "No, I'm no drinking, fuck off." I don't think I could use that as an excuse, but I think it would have been totally different had I been younger.
Oh, I totally agree with you, mate, because see, if it was now, I couldn't care less, but when I was younger, I was always self-conscious, or if I went out and I was drinking, I would say I had a vodka, but it was only like lemonade or something to get people off my back. But people are changing now, aren't they? It's more nice.
And there's also, what was I going to say, veganism. Yeah, quickly touching the veganism, and then I've got more stuff I want to ask you about.
Well,
I noticed that you've been you watched a David Attenborough film or something because you were donating money to trees and it looked like you were getting right in about that. I've not seen the film yet.
It's great. I mean, it's not. It's very, very depressing, mate. It's David Attenborough does one of his shows. It's about climate change and how you can help the world and stuff. And obviously, I'm a mad vegan bastard, so I watched it. I'm not the best vegan in the world, but I try my best. I'm more plant-based. Plant-based is when you try your best to be vegan, but see if you have a biscuit and there might be something in it, then fuck it. I won't go out my way to eat that biscuit with animal products in it, but see if I go to my gran's house and my gran says, do you want a biscuit with your tea? I'll probably just have a biscuit, mate. But 95% of the time, I try to be as vegan as possible. I'm vegan. I've got my vegan Doc Martens. I take vegan fish oils and all that kind of shit. So the One Tree Planted is a charity, and you can plant a tree for £1, and you can pick anywhere in the world. What the fuck was that? Did you hear that there?
That's something that's your text message.
Aye. I thought that was like my dad whistling in the background there or something. You can pick where you want to plant your tree, so you can do it for the Australian bushfires or the Amazon rainforest or the chimpanzees, and it's pretty nice. I donated about 90, I think, so 90 trees, man. That's good. And then they get in touch with you. They tell you when they're going to plant it. They'll send you pictures. And it's pretty nice. I think the way the world's going right now to tackle climate change is planting the trees a way forward, I think.
How long till you've got a tree that you can see?
I don't know why I found that funny. No, they get in
just
touch
to make sure,
with you.
a picture just to make sure you've not been bumped. Just a picture of it's like this pure massive tree. Like 2 weeks later, they're like, "That's you just planted that."
It's like green screened a pure shelter.
No man, I was going to ask you about as well. Vitamins, and I watched that, and to sort of slightly segue for the vitamins. I've just been spending all my money in vitamins this month as well, because felt like a sober October thing to do. Get the cod liver oil in, get the vitamin C, the vitamin D, which is apparently good for the COVID and that as well.
Yeah.
And also the mushrooms. So I watched Fantastic Fungi with Paul Stamets. I don't know if you've seen this film yet. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen it.
You will love this shit. You will love it, man. And basically it's all about the madness of mushrooms, how they're not quite animals and they're not quite plants, and how they've got all these underground networks, and how mushrooms could be the solution for everything. And there's a mushroom capsule that I'm taking. It's got like 7 types of mushrooms in it. And it seems to be quite good. The lion's mane, which I know that I've got friends that have used that for stuff before. It seems quite good, man.
I'm going
I'm pro lion's mane and forticeps. I don't know if that's what it is, Alan, but it's 7 different kinds, but lion's mane's one of them, because I know that a few friends have used lion's mane before, so I recognise that one. Here's the plant-based is the best way to go and not be 100% strict. Shouts to Alan. And got the chestnuts germinating in the fridge. What's that?
He's into his fermentation. He's a good cunt.
Yeah.
Anybody that does anything fermented is amazing. Kimchi, kombucha, mushrooms are good. I've got these mushrooms here that are, no fact actually, it's the same company, they do mushrooms. These are no mushrooms. I've got a fucking 1,000 vitamins in here. But any mushroom's amazing for you. They're legal, it's nootropic. You can get nootropic mushroom coffee as well. It's great for you. So get in about the mushrooms. No the ones in the field that are caked in dog shite, because you'll be tripping out your nut. I'm not saying they're no good for you, but just get the vitamin mushrooms and start halfway them, and then build yourself up. Aye.
That's moan the mushies, says Lee. Absolutely, moan the mushies. The thing is about, what I don't understand about vitamins is, right, how come they say vitamins should not be taken as part of you shouldn't take them to be healthy. So you've got to have a good diet. But if you've got a good diet, surely if you're doing everything right, you shouldn't need vitamins anyway. You know, in an ideal world where you're eating all the ideal foods.
Mm-hmm.
So
No wonder I don't get a fucking job, by the way. I'm like in the field with mushies caked in shite out your nut. Don't eat for 72 days, get kimchi up your arsehole, take mushrooms.
Kimchi's good. Kimchi's good.
No, see, the thing is with vitamins, mate, I look at it from this point of view, right? Even though I've lost a lot of weight, I've lost a shitload of weight, I'm probably still classed as obese. When you get your salad and all your food for shops like Asda and Morrison's and stuff, it's no 100% chicken. It's all pumped full of shite, steroids. It's no good for you. So it doesn't matter how healthy your diet is. Personally, I think you're not getting 100% of your nutrients and vitamins and your protein. So see if you have a healthy diet, top it up with some vitamins, because see, at the end of the day, somebody would go to a music festival and take 5 grams of Coke. Taking a multivitamin, a vitamin D, and a fish oil is not going to kill you. Do you know what I mean? Just don't take them up your arse. That's the difference.
Can you have too many vitamins? Like, could you? I mean, I think the Beta Band, Steve Mason had a song, "Choking on a Vitamin Tablet," which is a great line. But could you overdose in vitamins?
I think you could overdose in anything, mate. You hear about people dying drinking too much water, but see if you take too much vitamins and you don't really mean to, your pee's just going to go a luminous green, I think, or a luminous blue. A luminous blue, no, not a luminous blue. But you just piss it out. But, you know, I take probably 20 vitamins a day, mate, and I'm fine.
Mushroom coffee is bra, says Alan. I've not, to be honest, I'm all for the mushies, but I don't know about the coffee, man. I don't know about the coffee.
Oh, do you know what else you should do? I'm not an expert on this. I love how you're asking me this, by the way. I'm sitting here with my fucking banger hanging out with man tits.
You did Sober October, except you did it over years. So there's not many teetotalers left in Scotland. So it's like you're my man, and you're doing all the other stuff as well. You're doing the veganism. You try to better yourself and make big changes. So that's why I thought Sober October. Let's get you on. And
thank you, mate.
Weight. How much weight have you lost?
I'm not too sure. At my heaviest, I was 20 stone. So I was 42 in a waist, and I was a triple XL. So I bought a belt today that was a 34 in a waist. And I'm a kind of extra large. I'm happy with that. I've not weighed myself in a while. I try my hardest to stay away from the scales, to be honest.
That's what they say. The scales and the mirror can be bad things if you're constantly looking at it and getting obsessed with your weight on a day-to-day basis. And it doesn't even make sense because day-to-day, I heard someone saying it's a weekly thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I know what I'm like as a person. I'm hypersensitive. I need to avoid all that stuff. See, if I weigh myself and start looking in the mirror and stuff, I'm fucked. It can trigger disordered eating for me, binging. I know what keeps me healthy and happy. I've got a wee structure. There's things that I avoid. There's things that I do on a daily basis. And it's as simple as filling a bottle of a litre of water, having it before your bed. When you wake up in the morning, tan it when you're in your bed. And that's you drink a litre of water before you've even got to bed. And then downstairs, make a nice healthy breakfast, handful of vitamins, and you've started the day off positive.
Sleepy Hollow wants to know, what vitamins do you take?
Oft. I take all those mushrooms ones. I take vitamin D3. I take it with zinc together because supposedly it just works better together. Fuck knows. I'm not an expert. I listen to vegan podcasts and I try to note it down as quick as I can. I take B12 because vegans lack in that. I take things like green tea because I can't drink green tea. It makes me feel sick. Ginger complex. A thing called MSM. I'm not even too sure what that stands for, but I heard in a podcast it makes you live longer.
Must be true then.
Ginkgo bio, and I take magnesium before bed with zinc because it helps you sleep, supposedly.
I heard this. The magnesium is in ashwagandha as well, which I took.
Oh, aye.
So ashwagandha is like a thing. It puts you. It doesn't. It didn't knock me out or anything, but I think it definitely felt like I had a deeper sleep, like a longer sleep, a deeper and longer sleep. So
Yeah.
you don't. So because I've heard people comparing ashwagandha to Valium and stuff like that. So if you're getting ashwagandha thinking you're going to get it done, you'll be sadly disappointed. But it's going to. You're going to get a longer and deeper sleep if you take it. So is
Yeah.
that a new one to you? Is that a new one? Ashwagandha.
I've not heard of that one, mate. But
There you go.
I
You
believe
can have that one for free.
have it noted down. Do you know anybody that punch it? No, I believe
Holland
like
and Barrett. Holland and Barrett. But
see if you do these small things over a long period of time, you'll feel better. Like drink more water, take vitamins, eat healthy, don't drink, don't take drugs. Even if you're just cutting it out for a wee while, it will improve your life. You'll feel better for it. And then see if it comes to a Friday or Saturday night, if you want a couple of beers and a curry, well, then you've earned it. I don't judge people that eat meat either. I'm not one of these vegans that will be like, a chicken has a soul, we're all the same. But do whatever you want and whatever makes you happy, then go for it. But this is what I've done and what's helped my life.
And it's helped, man. And I think you're jogging and stuff as well, keeping fit.
No, for a couple of weeks, but
No,
normally.
Well, but I think it was good. It was good. Well, when lockdown first started happening, you seemed to be getting tore in about it, which I thought was a good idea. I was quite lucky that I had this, which is obviously there's a lot more pressure and stress having to do a daily show as well. But I'm also the kind of person that needs to be doing something. I couldn't, and everything else that I know is cancelled. So. But yeah, if I didn't have the show, I would definitely need to have been doing a bit more of that. I did do a wee bit of cycling, but I could have did better, I think.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way, mate. That is some run. You're like the Undertaker of podcasts.
I'll take that. Himalayan salt on the tongue before going to bed for a good sleep, says Sleepy Hollow. And Sleepy Hollow's got Sleepy in his name, so you know that you can trust that.
Oh, definitely.
Take them to be a fun guy. Now, that's one thing I'd like to warn people. Please do watch Fantastic Fungi by Paul Stamets. I first heard of the guy who was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Incredible stories that guy's got. The whole film's amazing, man, amazing. But a trigger warning for people who don't like people saying fungi instead of fungi, because they're all fungi. It's just fungi, the fungi, and it does do your nutting after a while. Might be a good wee drinking game for you if you want to just ignore all the good advice we've been given. Just drink every time they say fungi. Or now I want to ask you about speaking of Joe Rogan, Kanye West show. Kanye West was finally on Joe Rogan, and I noticed that you put a post up saying that you had to give up after 20 minutes. Why was that?
Do you know, I'll need to go back and listen to it again, but I'm just at this stage of COVID and the news and stuff, like everybody's talking about the same shit. It doesn't matter who it is. So I thought, do you know what? I need to completely remove myself for this, take a break, and just stick on a silly comedy movie. I don't want to get too deep, but I think Kanye has mental health problems, and they've probably went untreated for a wee while. He needs vitamin D, and like Joe Rogan just sits there and just kind of nods and smiles and a wee bit of an ego boost. And I used to be a mad Joe Rogan fan. I've kind of went off him recently. So, I don't know, I need a break. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we got here Borat. Have you watched the new Borat movie?
I haven't got round to it yet, mate, but I've heard it's absolutely fantastic. It's on Amazon Prime as well, so if anybody's got Amazon Prime, you can get it. Have you seen it?
Aye, man. And also, if anyone's on Amazon Prime, you can also link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and you can subscribe to You Call That Radio. We get £2.50. Big Jeff Bezos, the trillionaire, has to write me a cheque personally for £2.50 for every month that you hit the subscribe button. And it doesn't cost you anything either. But yeah, man, I did watch it. I watched it on Friday as soon as it came out because I didn't want any spoilers. And yeah, I think I'm going to need to watch it again to sort of take it all in. But it wasn't what I was expecting, man. It's more like kind of like a really weird, dark documentary. There is some funny bits, but man, I suppose I think it will just depend on your sense of humour whether you find those funny bits funny or disturbing or whatever. But yeah, definitely not what I was expecting. But I mean, he has actually maybe swayed the presidential election a little bit by capturing out Rudy Giuliani, whatever you say his name, Big Rudes, because that guy was coming out with some information that may or may not be true about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and at the same time Borat's dropped that movie which makes him look like a creep. Whatever way you want to look at it, he does look like just a bit of a dodgy cunt.
Yeah.
So it's man, I mean, it's also it's quite hard to tell what bits are staged and what bits are real, but there's definitely some real stunts in there that make you go, holy shit, America's mental, that kind of thing.
Does he pull his knob out or something?
Aye, well, he says he was tucking his shirt in, but he's lying in a bed in a hotel room, tucking his shirt in. But I don't want to give away too much away because it's spoiler alert. But yeah, man, I mean, I watch it. I mean, there's people saying it's amazing. I mean, I think it's not a comedy film. It's more like, I don't know, a performance piece or a surreal documentary. But yeah, it's not like the last one. I think obviously Sasha has aged a lot. I mean, it was 15 years ago, so he's maybe just coming at it from a different angle. And I think it was just being very careful to make it quite obviously be a comment on modern society rather than just making. But someone said the other day, I seen a meme going, the final curse of 2020, everybody's doing Borat voices again. It is nice. It is very nice. I was going to ask you about the moon. So the moon today announced the moon had a press conference. The moon
I
had
love
a
how
press
you
conference.
just went fucking straight into the moon there after
Fuck
talking
it,
about
man.
Borat.
Fuck it, I've got notes. We're trying to be concise today. This is unless you want to add anything to Borat, not voices.
No,
Let's
I'm
move
cool
on.
with talking about the moon.
Let's talk about the moon. The moon had a press conference today. The moon has said that there may be hidden traces of water. And what was weird about this was there's a 2-week hype to this press conference. It was like NASA's going to make a big announcement in 2 weeks, and it's like, why do they do that? Is that to get people just excited that there might be aliens? Why do they do that?
I know, because imagine if they made an announcement and then they done that after 2 weeks. Kidding on. Just a bam up. Just a wee bam up in 2020. No, but I love how the majority of people in unison just said, don't really give a fuck. Like, there's actual UFOs that they've said that they're there, but it's good that they found water. Aye.
No, but that's it. They didn't actually say they found water. They said that they think that they may have possibly found in the future, potentially, hidden traces may exist there somewhere, but they don't actually find it.
How long before Kanye starts selling it in a bottle?
Fuck it, Kanye. I wasn't saying Kanye's went full blown. I am the architect. See, I think Kanye West is. I mean, I don't know. I can't give him a mental health diagnosis. I think he says some interesting stuff. He just doesn't think. He's not thinking normally. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff he says and does gets taken out of context as well.
Yeah.
I fell asleep listening to the podcast. It was a bit much, but fair play. George G's.
I don't mean to badmouth him, by the way. I think he's music-wise, I think he's a genius. He's an absolute genius.
He went around a religious route where he's now building like he's talking about building a stadium-sized church where he's going to have 60,000 people all singing harmonies. Like a football match, stuff like that. So it's like some big ideas.
Yeah.
Kanye West is the man in the moon, says Raymondito. George G says, get trial of the Chicago 7 watched. Sasha is in it. Fantastic. I watched that. I did watch that recently. It's a good film. And Alan says he really did. He's a high-functioning individual. A lot of big things he's moved on to that a lot of people will be talking about soon, including new ways of farming and stuff. So you heard it here first. And new ways of schooling. You heard it here first, unless you heard it in Joe Rogan. So I was going to ask you about Scot Squad, the return. So you're filming again?
Yes, we were filming before it gets stopped during lockdown, and then we continued it back about a month ago. So I'm not too sure when it will be back. I'd imagine it will be next year, early next year at some point. But really, really grateful just to work, mate. You know yourself, working in this industry, we lost everything within the space of 2 or 3 days or something. So I know I was complaining about not getting a chance for other jobs. To be able to film a TV show during a pandemic, I'm really grateful for.
Absolutely, man. And is it how much filming have you done? Is it?
So I filmed for 2 days. I'm not too sure how long the shoot was. I think it was maybe 4 weeks under health and safety, all that kind of stuff. But I get 2 days. It was a wee bit weird. I never worked for 5 months, never did a gig for 5 months. And then the next thing I know, I was back on a TV set in action. There was a COVID guy there with a measuring tape and keeping people away from each other. And it was a bit surreal, mate, but end of the day, just grateful for the work, man.
Absolutely, man. I got a bit of extras work the other day.
Oh,
I was on set. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it, but I got promoted from the background guy to being in an important scene, doing very little but reacting to something dramatic happening. And man, I've got a whole new respect for actors in general, because obviously I've done a little bit of acting just like for you know, comedy skits or music videos, but having like a big massive team around, and you know, the clock going, time is money kind of thing, and and just a wee bit, I even felt a wee bit, you know, the butterflies, nerves as well. Do you get that, or is Scot Squad because you kind of know the crew so well and you've done it, or do you still get that kind of nerves?
I was really nervous that time because I never worked for 5 months. I remember going back to the set in the car and I was getting the dry like heave in the car, and I had to get 10 minutes to kind of sit and just do a couple of deep breaths and thinking, fucking hell, man, I can't believe I'm back on this set after 5 months. So the nerves were there. We were a wee bit rusty for the first day, but second day we were cool and back into it. But I still get nervous, mate. I was nervous before this podcast. I get nervous all the time. But it is what it is. You can handle it. You can deal with it.
Well, I suppose that the fact that when you're nervous, you can turn that into adrenaline, into helping a performance, and also it means you usually get a nice buzz after it's all over because you can relax that you've done something. Or that can also go the other way though as well, because I suppose that, you know, if you're going on tour all the time, then you're absolutely buzzing. And how do you even turn off and go to sleep at night?
Yeah. And that's why I don't drink anymore and I'm a vegan, because back in the day I didn't know how to do that. So I would just go and have 20 pints, a kebab and whatever else I was fucking ramming up my beak and stuff. So now I'm just nice and chilled, and the adrenaline and the nerves and the buzz can be a good thing. It can help you.
Just gonna a little bit about the deep breathing thing. So, see I've tried to do it. I've been trying to do that, especially just to go to sleep a bit earlier. I've been trying to relax. Now, is it right that if you breathe a certain way, it'll give you energy to go gusto, and if you do it another way, it relaxes you? What's the difference, and how do I know? Because maybe I don't want to be trying to relax myself to sleep and I end up giving myself energy, or vice versa.
I'm not an expert on it, but see if you put in YouTube, I think it's the 4-3-7 technique or something. I think it's that. I can't remember. I'm tired. The guy looks like Santa Claus, right? And he'll give you this breathing technique. It's like in for 4, hold for 7, out for 3, or whatever it was. And to get into that routine is pretty good. I'm no, like I says, I'm not an expert, but what I've found is when I'm nervous or I'm stressed or I need to relax, I really feel like if you just do 20 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, it just improves your life. A lot of this I've heard for Rogan podcast as well. I was trying to go to sleep with tape over my mouth, but because it helps your nasal breathing or something. And I seen Paul Craig, you know, the UFC fighter. He was training. You can get nasal training. You don't breathe in and out your mouth. You just breathe out your nose. And at the start of lockdown, I was like, that's me. I just nasal train now. I fucking lasted an hour before I nearly collapsed. But a lot of people don't breathe properly. A lot of people have got...
Me? I don't breathe properly.
Aye, mate. And that can give you stress. It can make you tired. It can make you angry. Because a lot of people have got problems with their noses and they don't even realise it. So
nasal trainers sounds like something you know when your parents would get you for the Barras Market, like own brand nasal trainers.
Aye.
But
Nine Stripes have it.
Well, you know, we'd Kirsty Strain on the show a couple of weeks ago for Burniston, and she was showing me. We actually went through an entire breathing technique thing, which is interesting. Yeah. But it is true. It's just like it's the breathing, and see when you're talking, you know, you're supposed to breathe in the words and talk.
Oh yeah.
Breathe out as you're speaking. I don't do that right. I just get carried away and just talk wrong, breathe wrong. I want about the fact that the industry's fucked. I can't believe that up until recently, I think I noticed today, Creative Scotland had a hardship fund for freelancers, and within an hour and a half, gone. An hour and a half done. Well, apparently it's 60% done, so they're keeping back the rest of it for a future pot of money. But mate, 9 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? If you're up at 9 in the morning as an independent freelancer in the middle of COVID, you've probably got your life sorted out. So I propose that the next pot of 40% goes out to the 3 AM crew. You know what I mean? Then we'll see who gets the money. Fair's fair, man. Fair's fair. But what I was wanting to ask about is, I think this one included comedians, but up until, maybe it didn't, but up until now, comedy wasn't considered art by Creative Scotland or something. Billy McCurt would be saying, is this a real thing? How can we justify that comedy is not an art form?
I know, it's so strange, and you've kind of, in the grand scheme of things, my life is okay. I'll never go homeless and I'll never go hungry. Regardless of my situation, I'll never be homeless. I'm grateful I've got friends and family, but to get instantly dismissed and classed as not an art or a proper industry, it's not like that when they're taking thousands of pounds of tax off us every single year. I would take a solo show to a venue. The venue takes 25%. My agent takes 10%. I also get VAT. Then I get taxed. I'm paying thousands of pounds of tax. And then when I've paid into the pot for years, even when I worked in Asda, I paid into the pot. And now we're all stranded and we're all fucked. And we need help. And it's no our fault. And we're not getting help. That's the most heartbreaking thing about it. Now, I'm so grateful I don't have a family, like as in kids and stuff, but see, if I had kids, I'd be fucked. And there's so many comedians I know that have got all that, and they're just getting dismissed. So no wonder they're all angry and they're pissed off. Sorry, mate, I need to charge my phone. Very unprofessional of me. But
that's all good, mate. That's all good. I'm going to play one of your videos just now anyway, while you're charging up. This is Crawford, Ramsey Crawford. I'm going to put on just now. So just check that out. So it's Ramsey. Here he comes, Ramsey Crawford. On to you.
Lot of hate about Tories, and I just want to put that right and tell you that it's wrong. It's a form of bigotry worse than racism. It's like calling someone the N-word, which you should never do unless you have a good reason. I'm a scumbag. I'm not really interested in what Jimmy Cranky has to say. Shouldn't she be in school? Scumbag. Marcus Rashford, the West Ham striker. I completely agree with him. I've experienced child poverty. I used to have sauerkraut toasties. I had some Taylors in and I got a English tea muffin sandwich and I said, guys, help yourself, don't mug me. If Marcus wants to serve more school dinners, become a dinner lady. Sir Alan Ferguson didn't give away free meals. If parents really want to feed their children, then go hunting for deer. Deer are all over the glen. And guess what? They're free. No, you're a scumbag.
You call that radio?
You call that radio?
Back to the people who hated on me.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute.
That's mad, isn't it?
Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Call that radio?
Yeah.
And is there a way we can do something like that?
I couldn't help it.
By injection inside or
Yeah, I think so because I think just painting in general because I think like my poems in my painting.
No, cut. Ramsey Crawford on You Call That Radio TV. I've actually got a wee. Where is it? I can't find it. I shared that on Overheard in the West End page, and somebody took a screenshot of them unfollowing the page. It's still it boggles my mind to this day that Overheard in the West End page is people surprised that the Tory bashing continues on that page. It's been a constant. Do you know what I mean? It's been constant. So yeah, I got an unfollow. I also got a woman today saying that this doesn't sound very Overheard in the West End. Not about your thing, about something else I said. I'd be amazed that people actually think that they've got the right to curate what goes onto my page. But that's just people for you. People can be cunts. So
people are crackpots, mate.
Aye, and I think what sums up more is that just this weird propaganda that's appeared. You know, run about the same time as Tories are voting to take away kids' free meals. Then you're actually getting like an actual discussion about how much hate is too much hate for people who vote for this kind of thing. It's mad, isn't it?
It's always happened. It's like feeling sorry for Nazis when they say Jews hate them, or remember when we tried to get independence and we were talking about the army. What's that big base? The big fucking army base in Scotland. It's quite dangerous. Fastlane, aye. People that were voting no were saying, what about everybody that works in Fastlane? Like, who gives a fuck? It's fucking bombs. We don't want it there. But aye, people are fucking mental, mate.
People are daft, mate. People are daft. And did you get any reactions from that? I mean, I remember I seen someone else reacting saying that was coming from the yes angle and saying cause you used the phrase Jimmy Cranky in the video, and they weren't very pleased about that. And I think they kind of missed the point. And I know that you're also a firm believer in the like myself that the Jimmy Cranky and the wee nippy patter is just shite patter. Forget about your political standing. It's just shite patter. What you got to say about that?
Awful. It's awful patter. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It's just no funny. And anybody who thinks it is funny, it'd be different if it was funny, right? You can make a joke about anything and make anything funny, but that is so fucking tedious. It is just borderline. If you want to talk about bullying and stuff, I would say that's probably bullying.
Yeah, and it's just everyone that seems to say it as well, they say it with a kind of a cunning grin and a wink as if they invented the patter. It's just a strange one.
Yeah. Aye, people are doing my tits in, mate. I'm still getting people saying that COVID's a cover-up and stuff. I know actual doctors and nurses that are working in the hospital saying this is real, and then
I know, but they're part of the scam.
I know, but then my fucking third cousin's best mate will be like, "Well, Sweden's fucking alright."
Google Sweden, mate.
Well, Sweden. It's interesting that the right are saying that when Sweden's a socialist country that does socialist stuff, and they were socially distancing. They do have a higher death rate than the rest of Scandinavia, and so if you Google Sweden, you will find that out, and also their economy's fucked as well. So, it's a strange one, man. It is a strange one. I think people, are just confused and scared.
Yeah.
And the idea, because wouldn't it be? Because I mean, there's sometimes I read things as well, and I'm just like, you kind of daydream on the thought that what if that is true? What if it is just? Imagine how good it'd be if it was all fake, and then one of the politicians came in and went, "Right, guys, I've got something to tell you. We faked it. It's all a load of shite. Let's just go back to normal." And everyone's like, "Way, street parties."
Aye.
I quite like the idea of that as well. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's just I've not seen anything. I've not seen anything that kind of suggests that is the case.
It was like the end of Scrooge when everybody comes out and they're like, "Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place."
And then everyone clapped. And I've put a link here to support Darren Connell here. It's the kofi.com/Darren Connell comedian.
Oh,
and
thank you, mate.
I put a link in the comments, so because the more you can support Dan, then the more comedy Dan's going to be able to create. What's the support been like so far?
It's been overwhelming, mate. I'll be honest with you. It's been really emotional. I wasn't actually going to do it at the start because I know that everybody's struggling, but I thought when I was doing my podcast, I'm putting that up for free. I always do videos, and anytime somebody messages me about the veganism stuff or sobriety, I always answer. I'm always kind of trying to help people. And I thought, do you know what? If you can afford the price of a coffee or whatever you can afford, then it would be appreciated. And I'll keep making stuff until things get back to normal. I know everybody's fucked. I know that. So you don't need to donate if you don't want to. But for the people that have donated, it has been incredible. And it's made me, I feel like Bill Murray in the end of Scrooge. Put a little love in your heart.
I think it's a good model for stuff like this, man. I mean, that's what's got me through this whole time is the Patreon, and people. I've not wanted this, like the big Halloween gig on Saturday. There's, that's an expensive risk to put on, and there's a lot of people saying, well, why don't you, why don't you charge tickets for it? And that would probably make more sense. But the whole point is that I don't really feel comfortable with putting a paywall up when everybody is skint. I mean, there's so many people supporting this, whether that's just watching or sharing or engaging with the chat or whatever. So I don't feel right by putting a paywall up. So that's what we do with the Patreon. It's just like, right, if you can pay, great. If you can't, then don't worry about it. And if people that are paying, they can afford a few quid, they're paying for other people, because it means, if there was absolutely nobody supporting this, I would not be able to justify doing it anymore. I'd have to just stop it. It's just simple as that. But and every time you're getting it, so it's got there's a nice, it goes both ways. So because you've now felt emotional at the support you've got, it's going to just it's going to make you pull the sleeves up and repay people with some good content. And then hopefully that just feeds into a wee cycle of them supporting you and you bringing out more stuff.
100%, mate. I think I actually forgot I was a stand-up comedian during this lockdown, so it's nice to kind of get reminded about it and just get supported. I'm lying on my carpet, by the way, fucking beside a plug socket. I'm like, gonna somebody buys a coffee, man. I'm fucked.
We've actually covered it at 58 minutes and a half. We've actually an hour and a minute and a half under the hour, so we're going to wrap it up there, Dan. I know you're busy. And so we're going to be back here tomorrow night for the Medicine Men. Where's the link? Where is it? What do you think of these new clickbait things that I'm making like that? So this is Medicine Men on tomorrow. In fact, we're going to finish with a wee tune from Medicine Men because, in case you aren't aware, we're going to finish a wee tune from Medicine Men. They'll be on the show tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And they'll be playing live on Saturday in our all-day streaming event on Saturday night. So please join us for that. Darren, all the best, mate. Keep up the good work. I hope things go well for you. And keep the Ramsey Crawford one going, man. I think that's a good character.
I appreciate you asking me on, mate. I know I don't say you much, but do you know what? You're one of the good cunts.
As are you, Dan. Thank you very much. All the best, mate. That was Darren Connell. We will be back tomorrow night with the Medicine Men. Wednesday, we've got Becky Wallace. Thursday night, we've got a host of special guests for the build-up to the big one. Loads of secret special guests for that one. On Friday night, you might remember Bomb Scare did a gig for us. Well, they're going to be releasing it again on Friday night. And then on Saturday, it's the big one. In fact, we've just announced Mog and the Ducks to the bill. What a fucking line-up, man. Look at this. Look at this. I'm excited for this. Oh, no, it's no word. Let's just go and watch the Medicine Men. Thank you very much to Darren Connell. This is the Medicine Men with Ceiling to the Floor. They'll be live on the show tomorrow night if you enjoy this. All the best, guys.
Hello, we are Medicine Men, and this is a session for Tenement TV. This song is called Ceiling to Floor. Windows from ceiling to floor. Feels like I'm living with giants. Buildings with 30-foot doors, all in the name of the science. You thought we fell from the sky, but you're 3 miles around me, trying to shelter my eyes until the darkness surrounds me. Crying, 'cause it's you that keeps me flying. I wanna see you smiling in the rain and throughout the shade.
do you want it?
This is called Sleeping with the Light On.